today. We're back again in the Jason Biggs loser hat to talk about repack scams, to talk about shady things that go on, because I saw something very interesting today in a Professor Sports Card video that reminded me of something that somebody asked me to cover in a video about 2 months ago. And this does in fact relate to Arena Club. It does in fact relate to Sports Card Investor. And it does in fact relate to a highly questionable paid partnership where a Grail card was happened to so be hit in a paid for video. Very questionable, and I want to talk about it today because I want your opinion on whether or not you agree with me when I think the individuals involved look incredibly uncomfortable once this card has been hit. Now, like I said, it's from this video over here from Professor Sports Cards, where he talked about people needing to watch where you spend your money. He essentially talks about Arena Club, he essentially talks about repacks, and basically covers things that I've talked about for years, Sports Card Radio I've talked about for years, but he does it in a condensed format using a lot of clips. So if you haven't seen it yet, please go ahead and check it out. But at about 10 minutes in, he references a specific video that happened on the Sports Card Investor, Instagram channel. I think it also happened and was posted on their YouTube channel. But this was a clip somebody sent me 8 weeks ago that I completely forgot to cover. And I think it's a very, very interesting one. Now, this is the Instagram post over here. You can clearly say or see that it's a paid partnership with Arena Club. I'm going to play this for you, but I want you to pay very close attention to the things that Teapot is saying, the guy on screen right now, and just the vibes that he sort of has. Because in my opinion, he looks uncomfortable, but I want you guys to sort of share your thoughts down below.
Do an Emerald one now?
Emerald baseball.
Okay, this is the last slab pack.
There's no animal present.
That's true.
Emerald baseball.
Not that we know of.
Here we go. Emerald baseball pack.
I won't know if this is good or not.
Right.
Tell me.
Oh, Teapot.
Whoa.
Okay,
Teapot?
so I do know who that is, actually.
Teapot.
What?
Teapot?
I literally was just saying to the spitballing guys that I've got to figure out how to get a Trout auto.
Oh my God! Not only did you get a Trout auto, you got a patch auto.
sick.
Game worn patch
That's
with the little
sick.
authentic sticker from the game.
That is sick.
Okay.
That's a
PSA
that's nice.
10.
That's nice.
You don't see PSA
That
10s
is
on
nice.
those types of cards
That is
either.
nice.
Wow.
I've got to call up the Arena Club guys and
Hey.
figure out how to get one of
Happy St.
Wow.
Patty's Day.
Give me one of those
All
bags.
right. All right.
That is a big hit.
Now, to me, when I see that, he doesn't look very comfortable. Now, Jeff Wilson aside, he's incredibly fake. He's a poser. He's very much looking like he's reading from a script at some point. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it just doesn't seem genuine at all when Jeff's just basically doing his normal spiel to sort of spruik sponsors and things like that. But you can sort of see there, the Emerald repacks cost $500 USD, and they just so happen to hit a Mike Trout autograph, a patch auto actually, a Grail card that most people would love to own in a PSA 10 format, which, as Jeff does go ahead and say in the video, given that it is a patch auto, it's not, something you commonly see when it comes to high grades from PSA, especially from them. Maybe BGS is a bit more lenient when it comes to thicker cards. But very questionable in my opinion, and you sort of see the reaction from Teapot. He's not overly energetic. Now, he's a bit of a subdued dude most of the time. He doesn't seem to exude a lot of enthusiasm, but it just didn't seem like he thought that was above board, especially the part where he sort of says Happy St. Patrick's Day, which is sort of what's coming up on screen right now. Just watch his eyes, watch his face. He just looks like he's not overly comfortable with the situation. I want to know what your thoughts are down below, because you'll see stuff like this happen all the time. We've seen it time and time again with, manufacturers and breaking companies doing things with, famous people or influencers, and you'll just so happen to see one of ones get hit, Grail cards get hit, case hits get hit, athletes pulling their own rookie cards. Highly, questionable, but nobody really talks about it in detail. They'll talk about things like Arena Club having their algorithm for you to go ahead and research, and, it's looked at by third parties, and they'll say, well, it's above board. They're doing all these things. This is just, pure luck that this kind of stuff happens. But they don't think about the fact that some of this stuff could be done for marketing purposes, right? There's no, reason to not assume that they want to try and get attention. So they're going to go ahead and partner with a famous person. They're going to go ahead and partner with an influencer and have, a separate set of cards that are actually not in their live product that they're going to make available to you on camera. And, you're going to open one pack that you don't actually pay for. And when you open that one pack, there's only one card to get hit, and that is that Mike Trout. So, it's sort of guaranteed to happen, which, I think is not entirely out of the realm of possibility, and people sort of forget that. I don't understand how we can sort of sit there and see, famous people, musicians, actors, go ahead and market other products. You'll see them market luxury watches. You'll see them go ahead and market, soft drinks like, Pepsi, and they'll sort of see them do it, but they'll take it with a grain of salt, right? They'll say, oh, well, you're only talking about it because you're getting paid. Yet yet when we go ahead and see people in this hobby who clearly need the money to survive, they're not, overly wealthy or overly famous. So they're even more inclined to sort of talk about something positively just for the money. Yet they won't question it, and they won't question beyond it. They'll say, "Oh, Arena Club buys cards pack. They have their algorithm for you to sort of review online," but they won't question the fact that this could be being done for marketing purposes. I don't know why this kind of stuff still needs to happen in this space, and it really concerns me because people will see this and then off the back of it want to go ahead and buy it, and they'll get skunked time and time again. Because again, Professor Sports Cards, raised some pretty good things in this video. He talked about the fact that, a lot of the time the cards that are in these products are not worth being in these products in the first place. They're sort of there as fillers. You see these time and time again when it comes to repack products and things like that. So you sort of get people that get skunked, they get lured in and then go ahead and start participating in this kind of crap, and they get burned. And obviously, I'll say time and time again that I think people need more support from themselves, they need more protection from themselves. I don't like this whole repack game. I don't like how this sort of stuff is marketed. Many of you guys out there will say, well, if they want to do it and waste their own money, that's their own problem, which is, your prerogative. You can buy into that if you want. I'm a bit more lenient when it comes to helping others, but, it's just one of those ones where I don't understand why there's not more pushback. So let me know your thoughts down below. I think I mentioned it earlier. You've got people in Professor Sports Cards video talking about Teapot looking uncomfortable, talking about like his soul is leaving his body. It's very much a marketing ploy is what people are sort of saying. I think he looked uncomfortable, but I want your opinion down below because I think this is a clear case of, an individual maybe being funneled a card. Now, obviously, that's just my opinion. I don't have proof of that, so take it with a grain of salt. But I want you to watch it and let me know your thoughts because the second you sort of see paid partnership, you sort of know what's coming, right? Or at least I do. And it's surprising to sort of see people not be aware of that themselves and they still buy into it and they still won't ask questions. It's just like, it's unnecessary. I don't know why it needs to happen, but maybe that's why, I've got no sponsorships on this channel. Maybe that's why I make no money off this channel. Not that I want to, but maybe I'm just off base and, I'm too nice of a guy, too naive to sort of understand how the real world works. So it is what it is. Share your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think. I know some people will defend the fact that, Arena Club do a good job with regards to advertising information around their repacks and how their algorithm works. I'm fairly certain they've explained the math behind it. I think they've also explained how it's verified. I actually couldn't find it when I tried to Google before recording this video. So if it is in fact out there, you can point me in the right direction. I will reference it in the comments below. But I vaguely recall people like Cage Lawyer talking about it and showing it in stories because he is also sponsored by them. He might even be an investor in them. I could be wrong in saying that. So if I am, I do apologize. But I recall somebody talking about it at some point. So share your thoughts on that. I just think it's very, very interesting. Again, you can have a legitimate product out there available for consumers, but when you see stuff like this happen for marketing purposes, there's no reason to believe that they don't also have a separate pool of assets, a separate pool of product that was never going to be there for the mass public, the general public, available for specific videos like this. It's, what I would be doing if I was a business like this. If you wanted to create buzz, you wanted to have marketing, you'd be doing that because you want to make sure that the sort of advertising money you're paying for, the influencer money you're paying for is worth your dime. So it is what it is. I'm rambling in this one. I feel like I've said that a lot in this video. Check out Professor Sports Card video, but I feel like this clip over here, I really should have covered it 8 weeks ago. You guys would have seen I've been pretty AWOL the last couple of months. I've got 2 kids now and it's obviously keeping me really busy. I'm really busy with work, so I'm not putting out as many videos as I have in the past. A lot of things have slipped. And if you're sort of a regular on the channel, you will know that I've not replied to a whole lot of comments lately. I've just been, crazy busy, but I saw this again today. I wanted to give Professor Sports Cards a shout out, but then also highlight this clip because I think it's very questionable and I want to know what you guys have to say down below. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.